Why, hello there. So, I realized it had been a bit since I did a video. I have a lot to update you guys on, and I have created a little nest with things around me. And as I'm sitting here, I'm realizing that there's kind of a logical order, but not really a logical order. So we're just gonna wing this. I have had one new start, which I finished, and another finish, and I'm pushing towards another finish, and I have a couple of planned starts. We'll all kind of go back in time to the end of 2017, early 2018. There was a naive Emily who said she was going to stitch from stash this year. Well, that went to hell in a handbasket, and I have some haul to show. Whatever, YOLO. I'm not a person that says YOLO, but I just did. Whatever. So that happened. Let's get started. The first thing that I have to show you guys is what I consider the piece de resistance. I would like to be able to show you, hot off the Q-snap, my finish of Black Sky by the Primitive Needle. But alas, I can't. So you'll just have to settle for a FFO'd and framed. Guys, let's do some close-up here. I got this framed at my local Michael's. They do a great job. There's a girl there who's very detail-oriented. In fact, I never agree with framers, but she picked this frame. And I was like, you know what? You're right. That's perfect. It's fantastic. It's dark and it's got some hints of gold in it. This is on Picture This Plus Ancient in 32 count. I did not do it in the called for silks, and I pulled the colors in DMC and did not care for them, so I just winged it. To me, on the front cover, the main color looked more like a blue than a black, so my main color is DMC 939, and I just went from there. Block by block, I took my main colors, my palette of colors, and decided what was going to be what color, and added and took away. I'm really happy with it. I think it's going to hang in our bedroom next to my side of the bed so that I can enjoy it. So there's that. Black Sky by the Primitive Needle, finished. I started this for Mania 2016. So the Mania after Dad passed away, which made this a very meaningful piece for me because this is a morning sampler. MOURNING. So there's that. I finished that while on a weekend retreat with some great girls. It was Lori from Mischievous Stitches, Jessica from Schoolhouse Stitcher, Diana from It Is Kismet Stitchers. It is Kismet Stitches. Natasha, who is Stitcherella, and Dawn, who you guys don't know because she does not have a Flosstube channel, but she is hilarious and you would love her. So we had a great time. Exchanged some gifts and whatnot. I'll show you what Diana made me here in a bit. But I finished that on our weekend together. And then I moved over to work on, actually let me show you a picture of this, because I assume everyone knows what it looks like, but maybe you don't. This is Love Never Fails by Barbara Anna Designs. You'll see I'm kind of on a Barbara Anna kick. I'm doing this in the called for colors with the exception of the greens. I've made those a little bit more of an earthier green, and I've changed the fabric. And the fabric change dramatically changes the look of this piece. I'm doing this on a piece of fabric from a dyer who doesn't dye anymore, so me telling you the color of it is pointless. So I've gotten a good bit done on this since the last time you saw it. And yes, I'm refusing to stitch her eyes in yet. I know how creepy she looks and how much it bothers some of you, but I dig it. So eyeless she goes for a while. You can see my thread hanging off the back here where I just abandoned her and set her aside as I worked on something else. So I kind of got burnt out on it, and then just one day was like, I'm not working on that anymore. I have not finished that thread, but I'm not going back to her right away. So there's that. And then I went to and started, I think, did I? Yes, started this piece. I wanted to stitch a weeping willow tree. I could not find just a weeping willow tree, just the tree, a small one that I really liked. So I went searching for images online. I found a chart with no stitched image. You know those like shady Asian cross-stitch sites where you can just get patterns? Well, I didn't go on one, but it popped up in my Google search. So it looked similar to what I designed here, but different. It was much bigger. So I shrunk it down and changed the colors, and I used coloring cotton to do this willow tree. And I'm very, very happy with how it turned out. This is a piece I want to sign, so I've got to get my name on it, but this is finished, started and finished since you guys saw me last. Like I said, this is on, or with coloring cotton threads, with the exception of 1 week's dye work. And this is on Stephanie, Hand Dyed by Stephanie Chocolate Milk, although this isn't a very variegated piece of this. But there's this. I also did some work on Hawk Run Hollow. I think you guys saw where I finished this block during the get-together. I just did a new border. That's boring. Not that exciting, but I'll pick this back up later this month at the get-together. And I have since, let me pull this off my stand, because I was actually stitching on this. Pulled back out All Creatures Great and Small by Barbara Anna. So let me, just in case you don't know what that looks like, I am doing mine in the called for colors, although this is charted for Anchor. I'm doing it in the DMC conversion. And I'm doing it on a different piece of fabric. Mine is done on Picture This Plus Haunted in 36 count. Since you guys saw it last, I have finished this area, put in the grass. I have stitched in all of the flowers on the border, and have started in over here on this strip doing this. This squirrel is one of my favorite things about this whole piece. I love it. It's great. So I'm going to snap this back on my stand and continue working on this for the rest of today. And I'm going to work on this either until I finish it or until Olivia's birthday. And I'll tell you why that is next. Because I hit Olivia up and I said, look, you guys know Olivia B. I said, our birthdays are like 2 or 3 days apart. We should work on something together. We should either pull a piece that we have in common, of which there are many, or we should start something new. And she was like, I don't need any new starts. I was like, okay, well then you pick and we'll work on something that we have in common. And she was like, okay. I said, you pick whatever you want. And she's like, all right. And then she gets back to me and she's like, okay, I picked a new start for us. That's why I love her. So we are going to start, I'm assuming on her birthday, which I think is the 22nd of March. Feel free to join in if you have this chart and you want to stitch this with us. But the City Stitcher Starry Night Sampler. Gorgeous, gorgeous piece. It includes some specialty stitches and cross stitch. There are satin stitching, queen stitches, four-sided stitches. Looking to see. French knots, which I may leave out because you can't even tell they're there. Yes, yes, yes. Charted for DMC, Anchor, J&P coats. Pretty excited, guys. Gonna start this bad boy. And I'm going to do it on one of these three pieces that are part of my haul. So yeah, so let's start where this all came unraveled, where it went downhill. You dig to the bottom of the pile. If we'll go back to my last video, you'll remember I showed you this chart. It's glorious. It's wonderful. It's full coverage. And I was like, you know what? I will buy that when I finish Black Sky, which you saw. I finished it. So I bought this. Love this. I'm planning to start it during Mania. Have fabric, plain fabric to stitch it on. Gonna do it in the DMC. That would have been fine. I bought this chart to travel with it. Guys, Scarlet Letter is a designer that I have had an interest in for a long time. I've never bought any of the charts. I wasn't sure what they'd like. I hadn't seen any in person, and I was really interested. And I would put them like on my Pinterest board, and I would take some off. And I'd put it on my Pinterest board, and I'd take some off. This other one stood the test of time, and it remained on my Pinterest board, so I bought it to travel with it. This is Polly Phillip. It's a lot of pink, I know. That may get changed, it may not, because I love this piece. It says lots of things. Whoever thinks a faultless piece to see, no wait. Okay, it's long. I'm not reading all this. Look it up. But my favorite part is down at the bottom. She writes her name, Polly Phillip, finished the sampler in the year of our Lord, 1772. And then after that, it's like, she was like, hey, I've got some more room here. What should I do? And she wrote right here in the corner, avoid sin. Like, just throw that in there. Avoid sin. Oh, Polly. So I got that. And like I said, things went to hell in a handbasket. Then I saw this chart. Wait, yes, this chart. And got it. This is a Perman chart, an antique sampler from 1808. Just dug it. Love me some Adam and Eve samplers. Wasn't much on eBay. Did I get this on eBay? Yeah, I got that on eBay. This one I got at a stitching get-together where there was lots of charts from a store that had shut down years ago that a lady was just trying to get rid of some of them. So I gave a donation and got this chart. This is the Sophia Eastland sampler. Love the little butterflies. All the trees and flowers. It's very pretty. Several others grabbed this chart as well. I think Diana grabbed a copy. I think I showed this to you guys, but in case I didn't, Matter's Choice. It's the craze. Started eventually. It's in my stash. And then I was like, you know what, Emily? You've already blown the whole Stitch from Stash thing. Like, that is completely out the window. So, I mean, might as well just have fun. Who else loves Brenda Keys? I love Brenda Keys. I don't have enough of her stuff from the Sampler Company. Now I have 3 more charts from her. So I bought this one first. This is, which one are you? Do we know? Does it say? Bear with me, guys. Somebody has taken this out and moved stuff around. Usually this piece is facing the back where you can read at the top. So this is the Town and Country sampler. Love this one. So cool. And then there is the Sweet Humility sampler. Love the house and the trees in this one. I've put this one in and taken it out of my cart for like a year now. And then this one I know Olivia is doing, which means, duh, I had to have it. It will probably be the first one I start, just because it is a beautiful, beautiful piece. I love the solid stitching at the bottom. This is the Country House sampler. It's just gorgeous, guys. Look at that. Look how beautiful. So there's that. One of those sellers had this piece for just a few dollars, so I bought it. I've never heard of this designer. Sunflower Samplings. This is Home is Best. Love me some houses. Home is Best is actually like stitched in the grass there. You can't see it. Diana grabbed this one. I think the only copy at the place where we got the Sophia Eastland sampler. And then, I don't know, it didn't speak to me at the time, but then she showed it in her video and I was like, I need that too. So this one's your fault, Diana. This is Mary Western 1820. The deer. Love this deer. A sucker for a deer. I'm also a sucker for the City Stitcher. So here is a guide to thee sampler. Love the house. Love the saying. This is let virtue be a guide to thee. My dad loved sunflowers. That drew me to this piece too. You can never have, hey buddy, you can never have too many small birth samplers that aren't covered in like baby chicks and elephants. So I bought the honeysuckle birth sampler used. I love you. Hop down. I know you want attention. Now I'm covered in hair. This one has a giant red cock on it, so I had to have it. It also has these beautiful bright colors, which isn't usually my jam, but this is so pretty. Being headbutted. This is Anne Christine Larson by the Traveling Stitcher. So pretty. And that's the antique on the cover. It's much more vivid in the reproduction. Yes, yes, buddy. And that's, oh, nope. I grabbed this out of the clearance bin at 123 Stitch. This is a Weaver's Work by Brenda Gervais. Yeah. He's just circling, laying down in my lap. Buster here. This is called the scratch my butt position, isn't it? Buster. Who's a sweet boy? Yes. Who is a sweet boy? Such a sweetheart. Okay, so now that we've had our cat break, I don't know if you guys are aware of this or not, but Silkweaver has a Facebook page where they will often put up like flash sales of fabric that they have, like already dyed. You get the piece in the picture and they send it to you. I almost am going to regret telling you this because then there'll be more people fighting for it. But I got these 3 neutrals of 36 count. This is Heritage, Toasted Almond, and this one, Arabian Desert. Guys, that is luscious. It's a little darker than it's showing up on there. It's like a more of an ale equivalent, maybe with more modeling, at least the piece that I got. So, Diana gave me these scissors. That's wonderful. And she also made me this project bag, which I already have something kitted up in. I have the Friends of the Heart piece in there with threads, and it will actually probably go on one of these. Getting started as soon as I finish All Creatures Great and Small, His Eyes on the Sparrow. If you were curious how many threads are needed for that, a lot. A lot of threads is the answer. And then I've got this laid out too because I was getting the threads together for it. This is my 7 sheep sampler, which is probably going to be my first Mania start. I love this piece. Love it. So what else is going on in the life of Emily? Anxiety. Lots and lots of anxiety. So, I hear my neighbor's truck. I decided I want to lose some weight. I've dropped a few pounds. I've been walking regularly, going and doing like 2.5 to 3 or 4 miles a day, trying to, it's probably not happening today because it's raining outside, if you were wondering why it's kind of overcast looking in here. And, you know, I was cutting calories. I've been drinking those damn Atkins shakes for lunch some days, and then I decided, hey, I'll do this diet drink that I've done before. When I did it before, I wasn't on antidepressants. I didn't read the fine print that you weren't supposed to take that if you're on antidepressants. Guess who screwed up their antidepressants? So that's another reason why it took me a little while to film, because I felt crazy. Nuts. For like at least a week and a half. I mean, I still am having a lot of breakthrough anxiety because things aren't regulated again yet. Like the last couple of weekends, I haven't left my house. This works for me. And it gets really bad, I go to the park and I walk. So it's helping my exercise. Sucks. It sucks a lot. It made it very apparent to me that I do not need to come off of my medication. So, there's that. Jim's awesome. He's so helpful. He helps me out with that kind of stuff. He's my rock. He is, I'm saying a lot. He's in Atlanta this weekend selling for a convention. But like, he came home late last night and he was like, you know what would make you feel better? Homemade banana bread. My husband came home late and went in the kitchen and made homemade banana bread and like chopped up dark chocolate pieces and put in it. And we ate homemade banana bread at like 10:30 at night. And that's what I had for breakfast this morning with coffee. It was great. Wonderful man. It has also slowed down my sewing because I don't feel like I have that kind of concentration, but it has not slowed down my planning. So I have been planning some bags. I'm planning to start a quilt because that's what we're all doing now. If you have not seen it, Diana made Lori this beautiful quilt. And I won't go into, you know, what happened to make her do that because that's not my story to tell. But, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. And it was so sweet and so kind. But she made the quilt with a jelly roll. I've bust her hair and my eyelashes. She made the quilt with a jelly roll. A lot like the quilts that Vonna has been making. So I was like, I'll make a baby quilt for one of my friends that is having a baby soon. And that'll be smaller. And I can do it with a jelly roll. So this is a Moda, where is it? The name of it? Bespoke Blossoms or Bespoke Blooms. It's just these beautiful, it's having a little girl. So I'm going to try to do that. Ow, bust your nails, buddy. Yeah, I know you're happy. What are we doing outside? We need a house with no neighbors. I have batting over there. I haven't bought like fabric for binding or backing or anything like that yet, but we'll get there. I want to get this cut and pieced together first, and then we'll see what I'm working with. I don't know when I'll start that. Eventually. Sometime. This morning I made a wreath. I already had the wreath planned. I had gone and bought the stuff for it. And then yesterday, I was done with work. I was home. I didn't want to deal with people anymore. My anxiety level was high. I was like trying to have it like sit and chill long enough where I could go to the park and walk. And I heard a knock on the front door. So I was like, that's odd. No one ever knocks on our door. So I bebopped downstairs, and we have one of those front doors where you have the glass panes on each side. So as I get there, I can look out the pane and see the person standing there, and they can see me seeing them. We make eye contact. And I noticed that they are either Jehovah's Witnesses or Mormons or something. They're holding Bibles and pamphlets and paperwork. And I just looked at them and said, And I turned around and went back upstairs. Didn't open the door. No, don't come to my house. No, I'm old enough where I know what I believe or don't believe. No. So I was not ugly to them, but I did not let them into my home. And it inspired me to finally create this wreath, which I'm going to insert a picture of here. I love it. I wish I had spent more time on the writing. I just kind of winged trying to script that in there, but I'm happy with it. I can always paint over it and redo it, so there's that. I will see you guys again whenever I film again. I'm not going to promise you when I'll be back because I have no idea. And hopefully when you see me again, I will have finished all creatures. I will have started Starry Night. And maybe I'll have even started His Eyes on the Sparrow. That would be exciting. I'm excited to get that started. So happy stitching. I hope you're having a great weekend. Actually, I hope it's rainy where you are so you're able to just stay in and stitch. And you're snuggling with your loved ones, whether those be kitties or not. He sees Dharma. And you're just enjoying all the things. Bye, guys. So I'm at the park walking. This is a 2.5 mile track. I'm getting it in. I talked myself out of coming, but I'm here.